in the Bag, where we give the voice to the voiceless and we let you say whatever is on your mind. My name is Marvina and I am your host. And good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to another segment of what you call it. We got the early morning coffee with Marvina. Anybody?
Hey.
I made up my own song. Good morning. Welcome to another segment of What's in the Bag, early morning coffee with Marvina. And well, of course, we give a voice to the voiceless and we let you say what ever was on your mind. Man, I just feel like dancing. I just feel so good this morning. God is so good.
You
He's
better say that thing.
He's gracious. People just can't. We don't even get we don't even got an infancy of how good God is. If you just don't just look at the little things that he does, the
Just a little.
little things, and then you like, wow, God is so good. You know, we always acknowledge the big stuff. Oh, he done gave me a car, he done gave me a house, he done gave me this, and he gave me that. But when you wake up in the morning and just see another, and that might not be that might not be big or small to some, but just to know that he gives you the breath to breathe. He give you life,
Yes.
health, strength. He just, oh my God. And then you look at everything that comes along with it as the day go on. You know what? He is so merciful and I am so grateful. I just had to get that out
You
because
better say
it
that.
was a wonderful morning for me. I didn't rush. I was just chilling. I was thinking God. I was in his word. I mean, you know, and of course, this month is Cancer Awareness Month. We all want to acknowledge all the people that struggled through, that has lost their lives to cancer, no matter what kind of cancer it is. I don't know, you know, it's just wreaking havoc over the body, whatever organ, whatever it's taken out. And also the ones that is fighting now, you know, knowing that you are more than a conqueror. You got God in your life. You know, God got you. You know what? I just want to give honor because this month I always think about my cousin. You know, God knows the reason, but it was just so hard that one day we seen her, the next day we were hearing about her cancer scare. Then we was told that she was passing away, and then all of a sudden she was gone. And that was somebody that was dear to my heart because I've seen my cousin from yay high when we was a baby, when my auntie used to put the grease and she couldn't get the hair back. She'd say, Vina, what I'm doing wrong? I said, put some grease and water in it. And she did. And now she's gone. So I just will always want to give honor to her this month, you know, and every month really. But this month is one day that I think about her just about every day. Just, you know, the little things. But anyway, in my cup right now, and of course I got my trusty What's in the Bag cup. Y'all let me know if y'all want a cup. Let me know so we can get y'all some of these cups. You can put anything in the middle. Like what's in the bag? You want to put mommy or lover or friend or a Bible verse or whatever. You can put right in the middle of this. You don't have to have 52. That's mine. But you
You
want
can
to
put
buy,
what's in the bag, tired of that job.
yeah, what's in the bag, whatever. So let me know if y'all want to get some of these beautiful cups. We're going to have on the back of them We're going to actually have where we give a voice to the voiceless and we let you say whatever's on your mind. But these are some wonderful cups. It keeps everything nice and cold for a period of time and even hot. So try get you a cup. But in my cup, I have actually got some decaf coffee this morning. Maybe you could kind of tell I'm a little more laid. I ain't never laid back. Stop lying, baby.
I had to laugh on that one, baby,
Whatever,
'cause woo,
whatever. And I
because
actually have
look at
some
my eyes.
creamy, some sweet and creamy delight creamer in here, and it's delicious. Of course, I got my sugar, and it's delicious, delicious, delicious. And I've been sipping on it all morning. And let me present to some and introduce some others. My BFF, that lady over there. Hi.
Good
Good
morning, good
morning,
morning, good morning.
Anthony. Hi,
What's
Tony.
in the bag, family? Let me tell you, she's always on 20, never on 10, always on 20. She doesn't need a whole lot of sugar to get her going. She just needs the sugar to continuously add to her fuel and her energy. But let me
I
say
love it.
this. My hat is off to you for breast cancer awareness month. And I always say that it's Cancer Awareness Month because
Yeah,
cancer strikes
I
so
meant to say
many
that. That's right. I'm sorry.
people, yeah, in so many different forms. I think about my aunt all the time. We were pretty close. And like Marvina said, it comes like a thief in the night. One day she said, I'm sick. I don't feel well. And then not even a year later, she was gone. So, I tell I tell anybody any ache, pain, something different out of the norm,
Yeah.
discoloration, go check it out. Don't wait. Go check it out.
Lumps, bumps,
It could,
stuff
yeah, it
that,
could
yes,
save your life.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Because that cancer is just like, it's what it is. It's like a virus. It sweeps through you and it takes you away. And then, it's even happens in the family. It's just, I don't know where it came from. In my side, if there's any on my side, besides my niece, I know my sister had a scare for once, but I'm grateful that that's not one of I could say our generational curses because it doesn't go. Now, don't get me wrong, it ain't like it's not in the family, but I don't see it as much. But the ones that do, that is going through, that has been going through, I mean, I didn't mean breast cancer, but just cancer anywhere, whatever part of the organs. It just, I wear pink because that's mostly everything you see is pink. I don't know if any of them have another color, but I just know that this is where our month that we really dedicate to the cancer awareness. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Tony. She can use sugar-free products and just be juice. Whatever.
And let me say so that leads me to my cup. And I don't know, my mug has disappeared. I've looked for it and looked for it and cannot
Ooh,
find
somebody
it.
took that bug.
I'm a little frustrated about it and flustered because it makes good iced coffee. That's a very good mug, hot or cold. But I am drinking 8 o'clock original coffee with some sugar-free hazelnut and some equal. So yes, you can turn it up on 10 with some substitutes. That's good for you. So, and for me, I'm wearing a scarf today. It has nothing to do with breast cancer. I'm trying to hold this hair down, honey. There's some things going on underneath the scarf this morning. So just
We have our bad days. We have our hair bad days. I don't think it's your bad day. I think it's, you just waited to get it done and do it so late. So now you sit here with a scarf looking like me. We both sit here looking like Aunt Marbles.
but we cute though.
Oh, we
But we
cute.
cute though.
I ain't said we weren't
Look,
cute now.
look,
Y'all need to put that in
turn to the side.
yeah, turn, turn, turn,
Turn
turn.
to the side.
You so crazy,
Yes,
girl.
yes, yes.
Well, today we are on a mission to talk about some things that is going on in this world that it's really hard for me to fathom how people that we trust so dearly with our children, or we trust so dearly of keeping, because when you leave, when your children leave home and go to school, those people who they interact with are either, they're like moms and dads, even though they might have a job, but they're there to for trust. We should be able to trust who our
That's right.
children are around. And our topic today is
Mhm.
educator, or I don't know, I'm sorry, educator or predator, or
That's right. You say it now. Say it. Educator or
educator
predator.
or a predator. Now, Yvonne I asked her, Yvonne, what you really want to talk about this week? She said, I want to talk about what's going on in this world with these teachers, and how
That's
these
right.
teachers are actually having sexual intercourse with
Mhm.
our
With our
students,
babies.
our babies. And she was, I'm just I'm gonna let you have the floor on this one, and because I know you
Okay.
were disgusted and you wanted to really talk about it, because you were disgusted and busted, and you want these folks to know that
Yeah, it's.
in a minute we just need to take all our children and homeschool them. I'm just gonna be just that's the way I see it. But go
I
ahead. I'm
mean, we. You know how I am, and people that know me know that I jump on my soapbox for the babies. I love me some babies, and I jump on the soapbox for them because somebody has to be the voice for them. And in this show, we say we give a voice to the voiceless. So here it go. Let's go. Let's
Let's get
get
a
with it.
voice to it. That's right. Let's go.
Educator or predator? Think about that for a minute. Educator or predator? These people are supposed to be educating your children, our babies, but some of them are preying on our babies. Last year,
Hmm.
2022, Fox News did a report and they ran some numbers, and the ones that were reported between kindergarten and 12th grade, 350 teachers that were arrested for having sexual
Yes.
relations, molestation, babies with our kids.
Hmm.
Kids that we send to school to get educated. We're not sending them to school to get educated in the ways of the world, adult affairs, and things of this nature. We're sending them to, of course, you're going to learn about sex ed and all this other kind of stuff in school. That's part of the curriculum. But where these teachers are taking it to a whole nother level, that's not part of the
It's
curriculum.
not.
In this story, they said 350 were caught and arrested,
Hmm.
but more than 70% of these cases and situations are never reported.
Hmm.
Some school systems sweep it under the rug because they don't want to lose funding. We can attest to that due to a situation that occurred and how
Hmm.
they swept it under the rug and didn't want it to get out. Not only, and then sometimes the parents don't want their child's information to come out. But keep in mind, the child is a minor. They aren't going to put that child's name out there to the public. And shame on anybody that leaks that information out there. But what are we going to do?
Hmm.
What are we going to do? Where does it end? It almost makes me feel like some of these people are getting a degree to teach just to be in a position to be with our children. Think about that. Most predators do not become don't blink and step into the classroom and say, "Oh, I'm going to be a predator today." Some of these people have behavioral traits or behaviors that have occurred throughout the years and people just haven't said anything. You know how it is. You look over there and you see something a little circumspect, somebody hand too low, or they move a certain way, or they say certain things, but you don't say anything, you don't address it. So that behavior continues on. And then one day, that person with those behaviors that no one said anything about winds up being a teacher in the classroom. Now they don't have to walk and tiptoe on toes around their families. They are in the classroom with our babies. What would you say, about 6 hours a day, give or take? And our babies are impressionable. Some of them feel flattered that the teacher is approaching them. They feel that they're the apple of the teacher's eye, so to speak. Some kids aren't getting attention at home. So the teacher has a file on our children. They already know what's lacking. They already know what's going on with the child. And some of them play on those emotions, those things that they're going through. Just think about that. 350 teachers. What really, one of the stories that hit the news that really outraged me here in Carrollton, where I live at now. It seemed like since I moved to Carrollton, every time I turn around, I hear some stuff. I'm like, oh my Lord, did I move to the hot spot or what? So a teacher, female teacher, so I don't want you guys to think that it's just males.
Mhm.
Because I'm gonna tell you something, I'm seeing more and more where it's more females than the males. These females are getting pregnant, having babies, talking about they love these 14 and 15-year-old boys because that's what they are. They can't support a family. They can't do any of these types of things. One lady made the comment, one teacher, and then I'm gonna go back to the other story. One teacher made a comment when she was arrested, and she said, "I'm just Stella getting her groove back." And if I could curse on this show, I would use something to describe her. Because when I read it, that in my mind, that's what I said. Now the teacher in Carrollton got with this young man, 14 or 15 years of age, encouraged him to run away from home and move in with her. Parents don't know where he's at. They're looking for him, searching for him, and everything. And one of his friends says, "Hey, check out Miss So and so." He told me that they've been having relations in the classroom, in the car, and then at her house. The police go to the home, and guess what? They look in the window, and what do they see? They see the teacher and the student in the bed together. She looking like on the news, like, what? She gets arrested, and they let her out on bond. And see, now I have a problem with that, and we'll address that in a minute. They let her out on bond. They let her out on. She stayed in. I think she was in the jail for over the weekend. They let her out on bond. The child goes missing again. Okay, they go right to her house, look in the window. There they are in the bed, caught in the act this time of not just being in the bed, but engaging in intercourse. And she goes back to jail. Now this time she's held without bond. Her lawyer is trying to come across as if she, has some little mental things. You have to have some mental problems to do these things. But I feel that she's cognitive of what she's doing. She encouraged the behavior as soon as she got out of jail again. Why give them a slap on the hand? And then, do you know that some of these people who have been caught preying on our children have left states and moved and are teaching in another school system in another state? Because sometimes it doesn't always follow you. People have found workarounds around the, what is that, the National Sex Offender Registry,
Hmm.
and some of them are working. I feel that some schools are turning a blind eye to a teacher's past. The reason why I say that is because of the teaching shortage.
Mhm.
So because they're in a rush to get people in, they're not going through the full background check that they should be going through. Everything has become um like I call fast food, microwave food, quick in a second. Where it used to take background checks for educators and people that want to buy guns and all these things, what, 30 to 60 days. So they can do now in a week or two, you know, if you got the job or not. Some of these teachers had their friends. They had Pookie and Ray Ray, Carla and Karen doing their verification for them when they call. So just think about that. Our babies.
And you know the
Okay.
weirdest thing I'm looking at, because you said K through 12.
Hmm.
Not not high school,
There
not
you go.
just middle school. You saying K, kindergarten.
Hmm.
So you got these grown people messing with these babies. Now let me tell you, and I'm not trying to put no sugar on it, because see, this ain't just start now. Education people, you had the coaches messing with children and these things.
Hmm.
And I remember as a kid, and I'll never forget it. I used to go to at that time they didn't have middle school and then high school, then elementary. It was elementary school and high school. And I was younger, and I wanted to play the drums. I just liked the drums. I wanted to play the drums so bad, but my mom and them felt like drums was for boys. So she allowed me to play. I think it was the flute. I don't even know if it was. At one time it was the flute, but then it was the clarinet. I remember it was the clarinet. And there we had a music teacher, and at that time they didn't have enough rooms for us to sit in, inside. So in this school there was like a basement. We had a basement, and the music teacher, and I'll never forget him, short, not my color, but bald headed, and while he's teaching me how to play the clarinet, he used to be rubbing on my leg. He used to rub on my leg, and I'm a kid. And I was feeling very uncomfortable. Never told anybody. Never took the flute lesson again. I tell you that much. That flute sat right on my mom's. My mom was renting it. I think we were renting it. That thing sat on that desk, on that dresser, and collected dust, because not that I didn't want to play the instrument, but the man that was sitting next to me, he kept
Hmm.
rubbing on my thighs. I'm a kid. I didn't know what to do. Just not go back around them. That's what I thought. Because for some
Hmm.
reason, even I'm just going to say, people, our older people that we find we supposed to respect, and we supposed to believe that they got our backs and stuff like that. Whether
Hmm.
they're the teachers, or the babysitters, or the mamas, the daddies, the cousins, the sisters. We look at them as somebody that we should be able to go to, and we find that they use us as children as sexual toys, or whatever
Yes.
reasons for you for messing with the babies. And they look at us as somebody that they can prey on, and they do. They become predators. I don't care who. I don't. If you messing with babies, and Jesus said it. I remember he in one of the stories he was talking to the disciples, and he was talking to them about sin. And Jesus said he looked out and he said in this. I could just imagine what he saw when he seen grown people, not just in their time, but now. Because he had the spirit of God in him, so he knew how we would
Yes.
be, how grown-ups, how we pry and are predators over our children, messing with them, and just they're predators. Educators, no. You're educating them for them to trust you enough,
There
because
you go.
I remember as a kid, I trusted my elders. I felt that they had my best interest in hand. And, they they, touch on you and mess with you, and things like that. I had that happen, so I know. I can imagine the feeling of a child in school getting your trust, and now all of a sudden you in the bed with them. How do you? What did you
Mhm.
say to these children to make them think that you were so in love? Tell them they're cute. Realize that you get in you get more trust out of your children when you're educating them, or what is it that you feel that makes you want to touch babies?
Mhm.
Babies.
Sickness. That's what it is, sickness. Just
Mental health.
pure, yeah, just pure sickness. And the school system has to do more to protect our children. They have to. Some school systems have went so far as to have even to have two people in the classroom at all times, even on the high school circuit. Some of them are making it or mandating. Some of the classes are now becoming overcrowded because they don't have enough people to have two in the classrooms. But because they have had this issue, that's what they're doing. And I get it and I understand it. I remember being in school and some of my friends and I, we were on a track team. We didn't go and take shower. We went in a group. We went in a group because we knew how some of the coaches were. When it's a lot of rumors, sometimes when there's smoke, there's fire. So we just decided to go ahead and just protect ourselves and stay on top of it. But think about what Marvina said. That's on the high school circuit. The impressionable ages of middle school and elementary school, you don't have the wherewithal to think along those lines. Okay, it's gonna be safety in numbers. Let's just at that time you just flattered that you're getting this extra attention. Ooh, you got this little secret, that may give you little butterflies for a moment because you don't know any better. And they're preying, they're preying on that. I remember once going to uh, pick my daughter up from school once, high school, and she got in the car and she gave her dad a what is it, CD, whatever. I said, "Oh, my coach gave me this. Let's listen to it." The very first song that came on was that "I Don't See Nothing Wrong with a Little Bump and Grind." When that song, I kid you not, the hair on the back of my neck stood up. My husband gripped the steering wheel. Then the next song, hit the button, went to the next song, and it was another song that was sexual. Hit now, mind you, we sitting in traffic to get out of the out of the parking lot. Hit another one, sexual. The next thing I know, that car pops in reverse, and that's all she wrote. We didn't sweep it under the rug. We didn't act as if it was okay. And then a seed was even planted because our daughter said, "He said that you guys may not like me to have this one." That is how they prey on you. Your mom and your daddy may not like it. Your mom and your daddy may not feel comfortable with this. Don't tell your friends because they may tell your mom and your daddy.
This is our secret.
Hmm.
This is our secret. You know how many adults have secrets with children? There's a lot of secret. It isn't. This ain't just start. This is a lot. This ain't
Hmm.
just going on, and it ain't just in the schools. It's not just in the schools. Do you know how many adults have secret
Hmm.
stuff with children?
Yeah.
They can go back, and it's not a thing that we could take lightly, because those children grows up. They either become either predators themselves, or they
Bingo.
become have issues, mental issues they never resolved. We hold the secrets for all the rest of our lives, and then one day you find out there was something wrong with you because your teacher, or your minister, or the deacon, or the principal, or your brother or your father or your mom or your cousin or somebody that did something to you as a kid,
Yeah.
and then and then you strike like, man, yeah, this is
Those
why,
generational curses are finding themselves
this
into the
is why
classroom.
my trust is like it is, because I trust this person. I trust my mom. I trust somebody to help me, and no one ever helped me. Why was I ever even in a predicament that someone could ever touch me?
Exactly. And that's how one of the victims went before Congress, because right now Congress is they're trying to get some laws passed. And this lady, she spoke so eloquently, and she said exactly what you just said, Marvina. She said, "Why was I put into the predicament?" She said there had been rumors that this teacher was doing things. There had been several parents that had complained, but nothing ever came about until this young lady left that school and she went to the police and said, "I have a story to tell." She had to step away from her parents
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't back her up. They couldn't believe this man was a pillar in the community.
That's it.
He was at the church. It was a smaller area, so they all went to church together and everything. He was the math teacher. He did extracurricular activities with the kids and things of that nature. And they just couldn't believe, oh, not Mr. So and so. But her story was so convincing that they immediately went. And guess what they found in this man's home?
Child pornography. Bless you.
Child pornography, pictures that he had taken of kids since his tenure. He had been at the school for 15 freaking years. They were able to identify kids in those pictures. When they went to trial, they had 17 former students come forward. And the thing that pisses me off about all that is that all 17 of those kids had reported to their parents and to the school that this is what this man was doing. And they said, unbelievable. Don't believe it. He trumped it up and he said, every time a complaint came up, they're upset because they're failing. They weren't failing. The education system was failing them and their parents were failing them. Another case, Louisiana,
Come on and be.
kindergartners, a sex ring, three teachers within this school
Mm.
were part of a pedophile group, and they were taking the children into the coat closet area and filming them and encouraging them to pose and perform sexual acts upon one another. And they were videoing it, taking pictures of it, and posting it online. My God, how long had this been going on? You know how they got found out? One of the children, this little boy went home and he and his family are sitting down having dinner. And this may be a little graphic, but he looked at his brother and asked his brother if he wanted to play a game. And the brother said, "What game?" He said, "Lick the ice cream." So they were like, "Lick the ice cream? What's that?" So they went to go. He said, "No, not that. Not that's not the ice cream." And he proceeded to try to touch his brother's private parts. And his parents were appalled. And they went to the police. And the police in this community, in this parish, they had the wherewithal to start an investigation. And they were able to catch them. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Think about what I said, a pedophile group. So for it to be a group, it's got to be more than three people.
Exactly. I mean,
These people have infiltrated our school systems.
it is, but this is, not trying to be funny, but people make money off of doing these things to children. I know in other countries, they sell babies off. They do all kinds of stuff from babies, infancy to on up, and other men from other countries come and they doing these type of things. Preying on children like this. But when you living somewhere and you sending your children to school for to be taught, not I don't even think they do sex education in school anymore. I'm not even sure, but you're going beyond the call of duty for your pleasure, because I don't feel like any child really knows what the pleasure of sex is. It's not
Thank you.
even part of their vocabulary until someone start putting it into
Some
them.
exactly.
I don't think they were really thinking about this. I mean, of course, when you get an analyst, when you start getting older and you start smelling yourself, that happens. But when some grown behind person getting their pleasures off of a child, not only do we need to find out what was mentally wrong with them,
Mhm.
because I know how it feels to be violated.
Mhm.
Trust people. Have a babysitter home and be trusted
Mhm.
that they're going to do right by you, by your child, and come to find out that they're molesting them, or sending them to school and come to find out that they're teaching them other than math and arithmetic. They're teaching them other things besides that for their, you know, it's just so sad that we have to worry about our children, in that aspect of life. Not that we already got them killing one another and guns and stuff, but now we got
Exactly.
manipulation going on, and this is just a really bad, terrible time.
Manipulation and
Yes,
sexploitation.
yes. To even have, and I'm not saying not to have any kids, but I tried that homeschool stuff. We did it during
We did.
COVID time. So why
Yeah.
not? Sometimes we just got to protect what's
Yeah.
ours. And I'm not saying this going on in every school. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going on in everybody houses, but it is going on
Yeah.
more than you really believe,
More than what you
more
really
than you
believe.
really think.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these children are not saying anything.
That's right. But do you know there is a way that you can protect your children, or try to anyway? There is a lady, she was on Good Morning America. I cannot remember her name, and I do apologize. I had it written down and can't find it. But she, when her children, she has two daughters, when her daughters come home and give her the list of who her teachers are, she pays, and she pay a fee, and she has a background check ran on them.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Mm.
She said one of her friend's children was brutally raped by a teacher. And ever since then, when she gets their list, she runs a report on them. She said it is money well spent. And she said she will do it all the way throughout their college years.
And the sad part about it is you don't even know who you have living in your neighborhood
Mhm.
who preying
Mhm.
on children. Because they
Yeah.
said that sex offenders not supposed to be around schools, but what about the ones just across the street from you?
Mhm. They can still live in your neighborhood.
They live in your neighborhood. Prime witness.
Mhm.
Okay, and there's nothing you can do about it. You got your children running around and somebody staring at them to figure out what's their next strategy to prey on them.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need to take a check on who's on your block. We
Mhm.
did. We found out there's some on ours. You know what I'm saying? And you scared to let your children be free to play out in the yards and stuff. You gotta keep a
Mhm.
watchful eye out on them. You're scared to send them to school. Gotta keep a watchful eye on them. scared to put them in the park. You scared to bring them to Chuck E. Cheese. You scared to bring them to let them go to the bathroom. You scared to allow them out of your sight. You scared
Mhm.
them because once you look up, somebody can just come and talk to your child, tell your child something, and yeah, you could tell them all day long, "Don't do this, don't talk to strangers, don't do this, don't do that." But them, it's like the enemy. He knows how to. He knows what to do. He knows how to pray.
That's
He knows
right.
how to cry on your child, just like they know what to say. And you thinking that
Yeah.
your child got educated about not talking to strangers, and then look up your child gone. Somebody done raped them. Somebody done touched them. Somebody done messed with them. Somebody done said something to them. All those things.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. At some point in time, we have to be unafraid. And what I mean by that, we have all lived our lives in secrecy for so long. We have to be willing to step out of the shadows and say no more. We grew up in a time where we said, don't you go out there telling my business. What goes on in this house stays in this house. So when reports like that come in, that same mentality is carried over to that report because you so afraid of what the neighbors are going to think, what your friends are going to think, what your family is going to think, whatever. You're always concerned about what they're going to think. Did you ever think that what's occurring in your home or in your school is the same thing that's occurring to someone else?
Hmm.
Do you think that that teacher is only coming after you? Do you think that teacher's only coming after your child? This lady in Carrollton, I don't think that was her first time. I just think it was the first time that she got caught. Some of these other teachers, look them up. Only thing you have to put in there is educator predator,
Yep.
and you will get a whole list of people.
Yeah. And they all, it ain't even, they all men, women, black,
Hmm.
white. It don't even matter. They just, you know, when I don't care about telling my, I'm 52 years old. I'll be 53. And sometimes I go on these social medias and these young guys, they be steady trying to talk to you. They in their 30s, 40s. To me, when I see them, I'm like, you still a baby. I ain't know, but yes, you are. I'm sorry, but I have a thing, at it's a certain cutoff point for me. You can't, I don't care how you put it on it. I don't care how old they are. Some of them get mature than others. I don't know. That's not my preference. When I see you, if I'm 14 years older than you, I'm 13 years. I just can't see me, we're just not there. And I tell them, they get mad, but that's okay. Because I feel like this, that's my preference. But I cannot even I can't fathom messing with a baby. I look at my grandbabies. They laying there with their little legs open and put on their little diapers and stuff. And you staring at their stuff and you looking at them sexually.
Right.
Kindergartens, pre-Ks, children. They
Hmm.
trust you, and
Hmm.
you praying
Hmm.
on them like a lion, just with some.
Yeah.
It takes me there because I know children are innocent, and they only start doing and allowing things happen when us adults who's been here starts doing things
Hmm.
to hurt them.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember when I had went to open campus after I had my daughter. I went to open campus here in Atlanta so that I could graduate early. And there was this teacher there, and I kept saying, he a little freaky. He a little,
Look,
And I
freaking.
remember some of the other girls in the class were like he,
Mm.
and all of this other kind of stuff. And some of the comments that he would make, some of the comments that he would make would be along the lines of, "It's not that bad because you already got a baby." He would say things like that, little slick, being slick. And I remember he got reported twice for his comments, and he's like, "Oh, I would never." Da 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 da. 4 years later, 4 years later now, I'm 21 at this time, and I run into a girl I went to school with, and guess who she married to?
Mm.
The teacher.
Mm-hmm. I even know a student who married another student's father.
See?
You know what I'm saying? So they
Mm,
come in every shape, form, fashion. So they just gross me out. Hey, Miss Carolyn Grayson, if a child doesn't receive love at home, doesn't get a hug from parents, they are easy prey. The educators are their parents away from home for 6 hours a day. The
mm,
teachers ask the children to stay around school to help her or him to correct paperwork. Yup. The children feel
mhm.
needed and they are excellent prey for the teachers to hug them for help. That then it comes to kissing them and the children gets love at school that he's not getting at home. And one thing leads to another. Child needs to be educated at home about the pet predators and what to look for, the touches and hugs that leads to molestation, and
You
that's
better say that, mommy.
I
You
love
better say that. You
that
better
is the
say that.
truth.
And you know something that you said, and it's so true. And I will say this about my mother and my mom and my dad. We could come home and take and say, "Oh, so and so wanted us to stay back and help grade some papers." My dad said, "Absolutely not." He said, "They the teacher. Let they can do their own work. What you doing grading the paper?" He said, You can grade it in the classroom, but you're not staying behind." Six girls, no boys. He would not allow any of us to stay behind to grade no papers with the
or
teacher.
my thing was they used to everybody all the kids. I used to sit there and watch, and everybody want to race the board, want to wait after school to
What?
race the board,
Yeah.
watch the board to watch the board. Not Marvina. Marvina ain't stay after the watching no boards and no none of
Mm-mm,
that. I ain't
mm-mm.
want to. I mean, as cleanly as I like things, I was not into staying after no school to do anything with anybody alone by myself because I was afraid to
Yeah.
catch. I started realizing that people, like I watched them. I watched how the girls was kissing at the coaches and how the coaches were not only hitting the guys' butts, but they were hitting the girls' butts. Good job,
Mm-hmm.
hugs and that stuff that don't play right in my spirit. I'm sorry, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want nobody touching on me. I don't want nobody saying anything nasty to me. So I ain't stay after nobody's school. I ain't doing no school stuff. Okay, so Diana said many stars tell their stories of abuse. It happens everywhere. Our sergeants in the military slept with my fellow troops and we had to keep it a secret.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
See, and everything's a secret. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And then when you come
People in
back
people
30
in
and
roles
40
of leadership.
yeah, but then you come back and yeah, that was a leadership. But I'm saying then you come back 20 years later, you want to come back and say, oh, he sexually did this to me, and then, I'm just thinking about Bill Cosby at this time. You know what I'm saying? And now you got to come off and hear something that happened to you years later by somebody of leadership preyed on someone that is weak or young or those type of things. The secrets is it's out here. It's like Diana said, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And
Mm-hmm.
Tony said, I know as a Mr. Smith and a Mr. Pow, pow, pow. And they have some high caliber friends that can put a stop to everyone who knows sex.
My thoughts
I love you.
exactly. And
I love you, Tony.
then we all gonna be in jail because they're gonna call it vigilante
We are
justice.
going to
So,
jail because we gonna take. He said you gonna take somebody out. You come out some, yeah, because it's
but
sad.
that is a very good point, though. Very
It
good
is.
point.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's so sad that we don't, that it's out here and it. You say to yourself, is there anything we actually can do? What can we do to stop this? Now we talking about it. How do we get it out there?
about
um,
what we're doing now,
what we're
talking
doing now,
about it,
talking about it,
encourage. Yeah,
getting it
and
out.
it,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think that also parents need to start to participate in some of the events going on in your children's school. PTA, if you don't like the PTA, start to forming some type of support groups, parent type support groups for your children. Become your school's children's booster club, if you will, and get involved. That will allow you to see these teachers up close and personal. Because I'm gonna tell you something, there's nothing like a parent's intuition.
And
Nothing like
also, sometimes we think in our little minds as parents that our children is okay, but you kind of can see a difference in your child. Pay attention. We got to start talking to our kids, and allowing them to talk back to us. Because for so long, our voice was quiet and we didn't know that we had a voice. Now, this is
hmm
2023. Ain't no reason for nobody to really feel like they don't have a voice. They done gave the children voices. So we need to be able to speak to our children. You should know your child. I don't care what age they are.
hmm
I knew when my son was smelling himself that he had sex. Well, daughters. You know what I'm saying? What could I do? But talk to him and realize that this is part of life. Now, if somebody was preying on my kids, I kind of would really, I believe I would turn, I could tell because my kids ain't gonna they're gonna be able to talk to me. We got that kind of relationship. But I do pay attention to the way they act,
mm
the way
hmm
they act towards me, what they're acting like now. When I'm sending them to school, do they want to go to school? Are they being lazy? They just don't want to go to school, or they're trying to run away from something.
Yeah. They tell you to look for the signs. If you have a AB student, now all of a sudden they D's and F's and they don't care. They dressed one way, now all of a sudden they dress a different way and they become more rebellious, or they're shutting themselves off from you, the family, and things of that nature. Pay attention. Sometimes they're doing that because of shame and embarrassment, and they feel like they have no one to turn to,
Mhm.
and no one's ever going to help them.
You got to pay
Pay
attention.
attention to some of the signs.
Got to. And your adult kids too. Your adult ones that's in college.
Hmm
All of them. I mean, we should know, detect that there's something wrong.
Yeah,
You don't want to hear
yeah,
that call one day that your child was raped, or you don't want to hear that call that your child is missing, or you don't want that call. So it's to me, I just believe that we have to learn to communicate better with our kids.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then once they get adults, we got to see them as an adult and treat them as they get older. You should be able to speak to your children to teach them in adult way. It should be a level of understanding, a level of respect for your children, a level of giving them a voice to talk it out. What you do today? How was you? I ask my grandbaby every day, how was your day?
and look, and I'm gonna tell you
How was your
something.
day? Good, grandma. What you learn? I learned math and I learned sight
Hmm
and I learned this and I learned that. So you had a good day. Nobody bothered you. Yes, grandma. I just need, and I let her talk.
hmm
Because see, I'm listening to stuff that you might be thinking, okay, I'm gonna listen to what they're saying, but no, you gotta listen to what they're not saying. Look how they're not
You better say it.
pay
Yes.
attention to them. Make a rule
Yeah,
come to ask the question.
that's right.
Baby, get on the phone and call your grandkids and
What?
or something. Just
Something.
if the mom and them ain't paying attention, we got to have somebody in there to pay attention. We got to
And
grasp
yeah,
somebody. They gotta trust somebody.
they gotta trust somebody. And my family can tell you, my kids can tell you. Baby, if I was at work and the clock struck, I knew what time they buses got. I knew how long it took them to get in the house, and it was funny like clockwork. As soon as they walking into their mama calling, I'm calling and I'm saying hey, what's going on? What needs, how was school? Different things like that. I call my grandbabies and I ask them. I call my nieces and my nephews. I spoke to one of my little nieces the other day, last week, and I said, "How was school?" She said, it was good." I said, "You sure you don't sound?" I said, "You don't sound so happy about it." She said, okay. It's not as good as it can be." Now, mind you, she's like 6 or 7, and I said, "What's
Exactly.
wrong?" And she was like, "They're being so mean to me." I said, "Well, did you tell mommy and daddy?" And she said, "Yeah." And she said, "No, well, I told mommy, but I haven't told daddy." So I went through. I'm
You
engaging in a
gotta
full
talk to
blown
them. You gotta
conversation.
talk to them. And this is a
Yeah.
valid point right here. Watch the man and woman you bring home around your children.
Yes.
That's just
Yes.
mainly
And
it.
yes.
Because we look for relationships.
Yes.
We look
Yes.
for the
Yes.
relationships with somebody else, but you looking for the relationship you have the person is having with your children. And I'm not, if they too close, you still question it. If they're not close enough, you question it. You find out because see, men and women that is brought home to your children are not their parents. Half of the times they don't have no connection with them. Sometimes they even look at your kids as a prey, somebody that they're gonna, wow, your mama not gonna do it, so I'm gonna make you do it. Or,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? So
We
that's such a
yeah.
valid point. I thank you, Di, for saying that because a lot of us don't think about the relationships that these people that you're bringing home to your children are because you're
So
too
true.
busy worrying about the relationship you having with them and if they treating you right. And
That's
that's
right.
another story because I've heard people talk about that, about how
Yeah, and I have to yeah,
how they
and
brought
I have to say it like yeah.
their mother
The
knew that the boyfriend was messing with but they didn't even do nothing about it. I know about that too. So, and I'm not talking about my mom. I'm just saying bringing men home to your house, bringing people, and they messing with you, and
you
you
know, we
holding it.
yeah, because we know we talk a lot about the outside predator.
Don't
But
talk about this.
growing up, nobody ever told you that you would have to protect your children from the people inside the home.
Yeah,
That's
that's
you
another.
know,
We're gonna be
like you
talking
said,
about
that's
that
another
soon.
story.
That's another. That is such another story, and we are definitely going to be talking about that. All right, I know y'all see that cash app up right there. It's a dollar sign. What's in the bag? 21. We are asking now. I don't normally ask because I'm asking one of this, and she's on here too. She said, "Why don't you show your cash app? Why you just don't?"
Yeah.
And I had to really think about that. I said, I gotta learn to ask for things. I'm just one of the
Mhm.
ones that's so secrets that you don't really ask. But what's in the bag? It actually costs money for us to keep coming on.
Yes.
We want to grow. We want to go to another level, and we're asking now. If you have any little donation you want to go ahead on and send to us, you can send it to dollar sign what's in the bag 21. Believe me,
Mhm.
it's gonna go in the right direction. It's gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna grow. We're growing.
We got lights, we
We got
got
exactly.
cameras, we've got, you know, it's so many behind the scenes
I
things that
mean,
come in.
just this thing alone, we have to pay for every month. We got to pay to get the flyers out. We got to, get the flyer things out. We got a lot going on every month. Well, I had told my best friend it's hard to live off of scraps. It is. You're trying to make it and put it together.
When she
And
said that, I think we must have laughed about 30 minutes because it was just
yeah, because I mean, we're here to help. We're
yeah,
here to give awareness. We're here to do what we need to do because we're sent by God. I don't care how it looks to anyone else, but this is God sent, and we know that as it grows, it's more expense for us. So we just asking if you have a donation,
yeah,
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55,
and help us grow.
60.
Help us continue to provide
Yeah.
content. Good quality content.
Mm-hmm.
And that brings me to the next subject. If you guys if there are any topics that you guys want us to discuss on the show, take and DM us and let us know. We have no
Mm-hmm.
problem with that. In fact, we welcome it.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys want to be a part of our panel, be a guest on the show, please reach out to us, DM us, and let us know. Everybody has something in their bag.
Amen.
Lighten your load.
Amen. Lighten it. Help somebody else. You got something out there you
Yeah.
want to show the world, give the world? I'm still waiting on my brother so we can get that right stuff out. I know there's, and then my mom, she got the poet and poetry, and we got so many gifts and talent out here, and we can give back to people. So we just asking, if you have those gifts and talents, you want to show us, show it on our directory. We got the What's in the Bag directory. We want to start joining, posting whatever you want, as far as it's free advertisement. Why not? Just going on. There's other people doing it. They got entertainment stuff going on. They got stuff. You want us to know what's going on in your bag or whatever, put it on our What's in the Bag directory. That's What's in the Bag. It has a question mark. This one has a question mark. The other one is just What's in the Bag. The group is What's in the Bag. But this one has a question mark because we are here to show what you got to give us, and what you got to give to the public, or what do you need to tell the public. You got a service. I'm just anything. I'm just that
Hmm.
directory needs to be. Y'all just post on it. Post on that. Okay, and then we got the YouTube, What's in the Bag 21. And I want to say welcome and thank you to all my YouTubers who's watching. If you are here, thank you for watching on What's in the Bag. I hope you got a lot out of it. And we also hope that you'll be back next week. We do this every Saturday. That's our YouTubers. That's What's in the Bag 21. Of course, we on Twitch also. All you gamers who wants to just take a little time out in the morning on Saturday and want to check us out, we on Twitch also. And then also we on YouTube. We can right bring YouTube, What's in the Bag to YouTube. We can
Hmm.
bring What's in the Bag to YouTube. Now this is a whole different audience. So we're
To
looking to
YouTube
do
or Instagram?
no YouTube. I mean, I'm
YouTube.
sorry,
Okay.
TikTok. I'm sorry,
Instagram.
TikTok.
TikTok. Okay.
TikTok. I'm putting TikTok and I'm thinking of YouTube. TikTok. TikTok. We are getting
Yes.
ready to start on TikTok. So watch out. We get ready to have a great time on there. If you want to be part of the panels on TikTok, we are looking for panel people on the TikTok
Yes.
group too. We're going to be out there. This is like I said, this is a different audience. It's not like Facebook. It ain't just family and friends. We got people all over. You're gonna
Yeah.
have people disliking you, you're gonna have people liking you, you're gonna have people doing all kinds of stuff. So it's a little different. And the panel is going to be a lot different than this. So when you hear in Facebook, we kind of try to be real nice and not let anything come out so we don't get banned and all that stuff.
TikTok, baby. 100% raw.
Yeah, it's raw. It's a little raw than this, but it's not
Raw
bad
and
because
unfiltered.
you're able to give a voice to the voiceless
Yeah.
and not worry about what people feel what's on your mind. Here
There you go.
you kind of shrug back a little bit because a lot of the people it comes on, you might see you might think, oh, they're gonna feel a certain way about me because I'm this way. But not on TikTok. We don't keep they don't get down like that. That's not that type of party. But anyway, we are actually finished for the day. I am so glad that y'all was part of
Yeah.
our wonderful segment this morning.
Yes, yes,
I hope you
yes.
got a lot out of it. You know, it's just awareness of what's going on, current event. Come on next week. We got a young man coming on. He's very, very, very. He got his own video out. He's on YouTube. He's doing his thing. Come on out next week. You're gonna enjoy that. I ain't gonna tell you the topic. You'll find out the topic when you get into our or go on the group page or when
That's
we
right.
advertise. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. What you got to say, BFF?
Hey, like I said, you guys, I know it was a touchy subject today, and just know there are great, great, excellent, awesome teachers out there that are doing the right things.
Yeah.
But the ones that aren't, stay alert, stay
Yeah.
alert.
And
Um,
I'm sorry.
it's a little rainy, cloudy out there today, but it's still a beautiful day. God
It
woke us
is.
up.
It
God woke
is.
us up. So get out there and live life. And as always, stay blessed, be a blessing, and have a blessed and wonderful day.
Yes, make sure y'all share the videos. Go in there and just share them. You know what I mean? That's helping. We really we talked about last week about how Black women have a problem with support. Well,
Yeah.
let's find out your support. Let's see who you support, who y'all support us. We love you. God bless you, and y'all have a wonderful day. God bless.